Senator Imee Marcos is recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. President and Majority Leader. My dear colleagues in the Senate, I rise today to submit to this August Chamber Committee Report number 2, sponsoring here with Senate Resolution 139 entitled Resolution Concurring in the Ratification of the Letter of Agreement on Narcotics Control and Law Enforcement between the Government of the Republic of the Philippines and the Government of the United States of America. Mr. President, the Philippines has fought long and hard a flailing war against illegal drugs, drug trafficking, substance abuse, the full gamut of crimes related to drugs continue to destroy lives, break Filipino families, and weaken our communities. Unfortunately, our struggle against illegal drugs appears to have weakened in the last few years in intensity and in focus. The truth is, we are backsliding in effort and result, and today, a total of 5,859 barangays remain classified as drug-affected, and 1.479 million Filipinos continue to use illegal drugs. Since January 2024, a total of 52.12 billion worth of illegal drugs were confiscated, showing that the flow of illicit substances remains alarmingly persistent. Ang mga dating adik nagbalik loob sa pagiging adik. Yung mga dating takot, ang lalakas na ng loob. Ang mga pusher, di na nagpo-push back. Ang mga user, himbis gamutin, binigyan ng alibay. Durog na ang Pilipinas. Marami na naman durugistang Pilipino. Marami na naman nakawan dahil naghahanap ng pantustos sa bisyo nila. Laganap na ulit ang krimen dahil laganap na ulit ang droga. High, happy days are here again. Ang pinaghirapan linisin ni Presidente Duterte, linamon at linaklak na ng mga buwaya. Buwayang walang kabusugan. Matapos ni Presidente Duterte dalhin sa hustisya ang mga kriminal, matapos niyang dalhin sa rehab ang mga adik na gustong magbago. Ayun, siya naman pala ang dadalhin sa The Hague. Fortunately, the country has had help in the war against drugs, namely the 2011 Letter of Agreement or LOA on Narcotics Control and Law Enforcement between the U.S. and the Philippines. Under this agreement, the U.S. committed funding and expertise to programs designed to enhance law enforcement, strengthen the rule of law, advance drug demand reduction, promote community resilience. In truth, from early 2011, we have been benefiting from the LOA, as we have already received over $27,620,000 US dollars in equipment, training, and donations, including 250 million pesos for the establishment of an educational and technical building in the Philippine Coast Guard Fleet Training Center in Balagtas, Batangas, Bulacan, 342 million in training programs for the Coast Guard as well, and the provision of several millions worth of critical equipment. Through the LOA, law enforcement personnel participated in international and regional training on drug prevention and advocacy. Filipino doctors have been certified as international standard drug abuse treatment capable. And our prosecutors and lawyers received specialized trainings so that the 2017 edition of the Prosecutor's Manual was produced in large part through the assistance granted by this same LOA. On top of the $27.62 million already given, the U.S. government also committed an additional $25.4 million of funding under the LOA. Unfortunately, there has been a misapprehension of the LOA's character as a mere executive agreement. Since it contains a tax exemption provision, the same should have been submitted for Senate concurrence vis-a-vis a treaty. However, because these provisions were never invoked by the U.S. before, the issue of whether tax exemptions are operative without Senate concurrence never arose until today. In the awareness of the deterioration of our country's drug situation, our American partners wish to expand their assistance to include a new pier for the Coast Guard and the PPA in Buliluyan Island in Palawan. This project is likely to incur significant expenditures and concomitant tax obligations on the U.S. government, hence obliging them to invoke the tax exemption under the LOA for the very first time. Both the BIR and the Create More R8 12066 require that international agreements granting tax exemptions must be concurred in by the Senate. So, Mr. President and esteemed colleagues, after 14 years of reaping the benefits of this agreement, it is time that the Philippines formally honors the tax exemption provisions which both parties agreed upon in 2011 by ratifying the document now properly as a treaty. By our concurrence, the Senate will guarantee our drug enforcement and justice departments access to funding, resources, experience, and the invaluable assistance of the U.S. in this global war against illegal drugs and organized crime. Just as important, our ratification of this law will send a strong signal to the international community that the Philippines honors all its obligations under each of the agreements it signs. Oo, kailangan natin lahat ng tulong na pwede nating makuha. Pero kung ang sarili mismo nating bansa ay lango at lulong sa nakaka-addict na katiwalian, paano tayo gagaling? Gayong mas gusto pa ng ilang mga politiko na wala sa wisyo ang taong bayan para mapagpatuloy nila ang kaadikan sa kapangyarihan. Dalawa lang ang kapalaran ng mga mata sa lipunan: mamuti sa gutom o mamula sa droga. Dahil dito, hinihiling ko ngayon ang inyong pahintulot at sang-ayon sa ratifikasyon ng LOA or Letter of Agreement on Narcotics Control and Law Enforcement hinggil sa pamahalaan ng Republika ng Pilipinas at ng Estados Unidos ng Amerika. Maraming salamat, Ginoong Pangulo at mga mahal kong kasamahan.